Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, this for birdie. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realise that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good.
Now it's that sneaky distance.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Good solid work right there, and stays at 4 under. Frank, the 9th hole, called Olympus. That is very grand sounding, like something that...
You're talking Greek god here, aren't you? Come on, this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich. This is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
4 under on the day. Moving on to the back 9 here at Chambers Bay in the state of Washington. I'm Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Frank, what's the 10th hole all about?
Dunes left and right, hence the name High Dunes. Obviously split the fairway there. But one of the factors of true links golf is you normally get to putt on the calm. The dunes protect this green from all the wind, so a relatively flat putting surface.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
All right, Frank, what's the best way to approach the 10th?
This is probably the flattest green on the golf course, Rich, and really, if you miss this green, you've made a mistake. There's no two ways about it. It's probably the most predictable second shot you're going to have on the golf course.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Just an excellent shot right there, about 5 feet away. Good chance. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Stepping up to the tee here at the 11th, Frank.
Yeah, it looks straightforward. You see a big dune in the middle of the fairway. You can really take that out of play. Get it down there as far as you can. You're going to need to. And then from there on in, it's really just trying to find out exactly where you want to land that second shot so that you can get it on the right level. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, well, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That will be a great look at birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Starting to lose count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birdies today. Wow. The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
2, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Has to be feeling good right now. Looks good with 2 straight birdies and 7 under on the card. Now at the 13th hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, this one bends to the right, par 4.
It doesn't mean that you have to cut it or move the ball in that direction. Ideally, really, anything down the left side of the fairway would be well suited for this hole. There is a central bunker that sort of protects the front middle of this green. You can go in left of that or right of that, but this is a beefy par 4. 4 on the card, and you are not losing ground.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. This is a good-looking shot. Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. Boy, this would be nice. A 4th consecutive birdie. Heating up.
I'm running out of fingers.
Moves to -8. Frank, now to the 14th hole, and this is the 5th consecutive par 4 here at Chambers Bay, and by this point the players will know whether they're on their game or off their game.
At 546 yards, this hole can be shortened considerably if you choose to take a brave line down the left side. You can chew off as much as 70 or 80 yards. But once again here, because the hole bends to the left, you've really got to know which direction that wind is coming from. Well, talk about taking the head cover off and let it fly. That's beyond long.
Goodness, did he get all of that one? Wow. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th.
I've heard of being on the zone, but this is he's just making it look so easy.
Just sensational golf. I mean, he is knocking down every flagstick right now. What a performance. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
As you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15. It's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in the US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
That's well played. And now a good look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
These putts keep the round together. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Now to the 16th hole here at Chambers Bay, and Frank, it is pretty short hole. What are the chances to come out of here with a birdie?
Well, you've just come off the short 15th. You can get on a little bit of a run here, providing you get in the fairway first. You're not going to have an overly long second shot here. But once again, this is a precision hole, a little bit like 15. This is a tabletop green, so you're going to have to be right on the money with that second shot.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Good chance here. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. Just 2 holes left to play. Now a par 3, the 17th, 218 yards, and all sorts of trouble, Frank, down that right.
Well, if you weren't beached at the 16th, then there's a chance you can be derailed, which is what this hole's called, at 17. Difficult par 3. You can see the bunker there in front, and once again, wind conditions. This is going to probably require one of the best tee shots, especially in the closing stages of the U.S. Open.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. He is on a roll right now. Now to the 18th hole, Frank, everyone wants to finish in style.
Yeah, the home hole here, once again you head back to just a wonderful view, and you realize that Chambers Bay was designed as a walking golf course, and it was designed to have fun and test every department of your game. 18 will do that. It probably gives you more trouble on both sides of the hole than any other hole on the golf course.
Oh my goodness, he pumped it, he thumped it, he jumped it. What a drive. You can't ask for much more than that. About 5 feet away. Beautifully done. Now the third shot at the par 5. Just an unbelievable round thus far. And 12 under on the day. Frank, solid effort today. What's your assessment?
Golf like that can certainly result in wins, that's for sure. But more importantly, the opportunity to get one.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the International Challenge. Always great to be in Troon, Scotland, at the Royal Troon Golf Club, founded in 1878. Frank, it is a golf course, true links. It's bathed in history. Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play. Seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it. This looks like it's going to find the target.
And that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Makes the putt for a birdie. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. It was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but that is well on the cards.
Big swing right there, and a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit, 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green.
Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, at the 1989 Open Championship, Greg Norman was in great position in that playoff with Mark Calcavecchi, and I believe it was Wayne Grady. What happened to Norman?
Well, he started off tremendous in the playoff. The playoff was 1, 2, 17, and 18. He birdied the first and the second hole. Missed the 17th green just on the left. Took 3 from the edge, which allowed Calcavecchi and Wayne Grady back in. Then took driver up off 18. It bounced just one hop too far and found that bunker on the right side. And, of course, the rest was history, and Mark Calcavecchi was crowned the Open champion.
The great white sharks, so often so unlucky at major championships. Frank, this is a hole, number 18, where you don't want to be in a hurry to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's out of bounds just off the back of this green, so you might want to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go long.
Yeah, OB is just steps from the clubhouse. Frank, the Open Championship will be played at Royal Troon in 2016. It was first played back in 1923. What was first prize then?
A mere 75 pounds, so that equates to about 150 US dollars. And just to give you an idea, the last time they played there, Rich, was back in 2004 when Todd Hamilton beat Ernie Els. He got a whopping 720,000 pounds. That's right, nearly $1.5 million.
The money's nice, but every player would tell you, Frank, it is still all about that claret jug.
It is, and that's actually suited the Americans because since 1962, they've been to Troon 6 times, and 6 times the victor has been American.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie to win the International Challenge. You always like that. Count it as a birdie. And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only in the course today, but all week long.
Well, Frank, these winds have not at all subsided. Still a challenge.
Yeah, the same for everybody, and that's where you've just got to adjust your own mental par. Golf course was going to be difficult when you teed off. It's certainly no different now. Should be safely on deck.
We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. Didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
Yeah, at least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
Yeah, and things are starting to tighten up right now. You can see where the next move comes from.
Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way. Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Good stroke right there. That's a par, and stays at 1 under. Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. And chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
Wow, Frank, he did well just to get it on the green from that lie.
I didn't think that was doable. It's that sneaky distance.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Oh, he is winding this one up. Does he have the power? What a great shot.
Frank, I know you like boxing. That was some heavyweight power right there.
Smoked it.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Has the birdie to move to 3 under par for the championship. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational.
tell you, there's long and long. And that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. He'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away in a good spot. And getting ready for the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Frank going for 2 in a row now. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Now to the 13th hole, and, oh, I don't know, should we just fly it over the mountains, Frank?
It looks like that, but then you better find dry land. 350 yards, but as the crow flies, it's probably just a little over 300 yards. I don't know if the mere mortals would really want to flash it across that desert ridge. You probably want to play a little left of it, have a little pitch up yourself, but if you're one of the longer hitters, why not just try it, see if you can make it.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
This is a pretty good performance right here. 6 under for the tournament. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards. What a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Frank, uphill shot, what did you like to do on a play like this?
The biggest thing really is to try and work on your balance. You've got to make sure you get through the shot and normally take an extra club.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. He has this putt for birdie. Count that. That's a birdie. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitation.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
Frank, such an advantage when you can hit that far.
It's not fair.
Frank, he could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And, Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. These putts keep the round together. What a tremendous display of golf this has been.
Certainly throwing an eagle against the field, too. We've seen it all. Birdies, eagles, just blitzing the field from start to finish.
Frank, there's so many impressive holes here at Wolf Creek, but the second really stands out.
Yeah, that tee box, is it 9 stories high? It's hard to imagine you can tee up that high, and obviously trying to judge distance is one thing, but also just the visual that you get.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
99 yards away. Strong winds continue to be a factor. Frank, I know you've played all over the world. How much did you enjoy the challenge of playing into a stiff breeze?
Well, it was a chance to separate yourself from the rest of the field, Rich. Just like these conditions we're seeing right now. You've really got to be smart. Pick the right shot. If you get too aggressive on a day like today, you'll pay a far more severe price than normal.
Club selection obviously is crucial.
Oh, it's imperative today.
Take an extra club or two, choke down.
Very much so.
Just a little tap in here. Has his par. Now on to the third, first of the short holes here at Wolf Creek. Uphill shot, Frank?
Yes, it's going to play a little longer because of that. Then it's 227 yards off the back tee. Hard to imagine you have a par 3 in amongst this desert. And really, that's all it is. Tee and green. There's not much in between. Well protected, as you can see, by those bunkers. And this green a little smaller than what you'd like for a hole that's around that 230-yard mark.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Oh boy, a drop shot here at the third. Now a 7-footer. Well, that's why you build a big lead. You can afford to drop one or two.
Well, it's hard to criticize a player for being sloppy when the lead is that big.
383-yard fourth hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down. You just find the fairway. You're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, briefly educate us on course slope rating.
Yeah, it's a system that goes along with our handicap system, so you can compare one golf course to another. If you played a very, very flat golf course, it would have a relatively low slope rating. So when you use that with your handicap, that would figure it out. So if you decided to go and play Wolf Creek and it has a slope rating of 154, that's factored into how difficult it is to chip and putt around this golf course and how much of the elevation affects your golf score. And that's really to equate golf all over the world.
How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, fifth.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it, because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream. You can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you got to see, you got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Big swing right there, and a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an eagle coming up. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present final round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. Frank, this is a pretty challenging approach shot here at the 10th.
It's certainly one of the longest second shots you'll play into a par 4 at Wolf Creek. You're coming off a lie with a ball slightly above your feet, so that's a hook shot. And you're really hitting a hook shot into a green that's designed to hit a cut. It makes this shot a little bit more challenging, so just be a little careful here.
Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
He'll take par and move on. On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards, very playable, and you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie.
Frank, this looks tough. He's on the macadam, but for a high-level professional?
Oh, he's taken the wrong path, Rich.
Frank, how'd he do there?
Not bad, just inside, sort of 8 or 9 feet left.
Ooh, that hurts. Just hammered that par putt, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking or what was going through his mind right there, but he better wake up in a hurry, because if this one doesn't go in, that score's going to rack up very quickly.
That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable into. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
And it makes the green in regulation. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees, but very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Right, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Everybody loves them. Birdie on the card. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Wow, I thought he made that.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
So a tester from 4 feet.
That's the idea. Just knock it in. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down in those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the float?
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a little tap in here. Short par 4 16th hole measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here. And it should sit up nicely for a birdie.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, this is really a cool closing stretch here at Wolf Creek. Short par 3 15th, the short 4 at the 16th, and now the par 5 17th. You can make up some ground in a hurry as you come down the finishing stretch.
You certainly can.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
And now he has this for the birdie. Oh, yeah, he's 18th hole. And Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
This to win the EA Sports Spring Invitational.
when you consider the length of that putt, it was a good putt.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Ooh, good effort right there. Almost made it.
Did the job right there. Just a tremendous week of golf, and that, my friend, is a win.